King Gun Kelly, Machiavelli, stay ready like Freddy. We have woman plenty, woman the city, woman the country. You coulda act like you no want believe me. Ask Dwight, that me Bali. I am a royal coffee, my style sticky like taffy. You coulda holla say me ugly, but alone pretty girl stay to chase me. Royal coffee, and my style sticky like taffy. How could you call me ugly when alone pretty girl stay to chase me? Lot of sexy woman come out of the valley. Me like the way the body move when them the party. And a piece white and Alta Leslie. And the one name Gilda Courtney. Dano Jam, soda much jelly from me Lille. Me know where to do with me till it. Me grow up as a bedroom bully. Book out with vein full up them belly. I am a royal coffee. Punas,
Yeah.
I see you there. Just wait for the Grand Marshal to make his appearance and then I'll pull you in.
All right. I wasn't too sure if he had me on tonight. He sort of told me, but he never really confirmed.
Okay, well, you're there now, so
Lauren's supposed to be on too, right?
yeah, that was supposed to be on too.
Uh,
All right, just give it 1 minute. Mr. Joe,
Yeah, good night.
good night, good night. You was on, but you just got connected now, so you good. I'm gonna keep you in the green room. Green room. I'm waiting for the chairman.
Who is it?
I say I'm gonna keep you in the green room. I'm waiting for the chairman.
Oh. Okay, yeah, fine.
I give him a couple of minutes. He's trying to get Lawrence straightened out.
Yeah, sure, that's fine. Wait, I see you have a picture of the father of the nation. So,
Hey, what's up, fam? I can't find. Just blasting the next tape, feel me? Oh, you ain't heard? Me ask this some fool, me say me play more, so we know this some no shot of a on the bridge, want some car, you know me car keys.
Mr. Joe.
I'm here.
Okay, well, I guess you're gonna have to deal with it in the interim until this man get on, cause it's been a minute now. I don't know. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna just hold up. Give me a minute. Give me a minute, Mr. Joe. Give me 1 second.
sure.
Give
You,
me
you
one
know,
second.
Clinton, when you were in the Eden cinema and the projection go off, the audience had a Lego the man, Lego the man. So tell
Why?
G-Mike,
Just
Lego the
stop
man.
play.
Well, you had me at a little bit of a loss just now because I saw the name J.A. Spooners, but I couldn't connect it to the image.
Yeah, this is my alter ego as we got on Lauren tonight. I just a joke round, yes.
Oh, I thought you were kind of imitating Lauren.
No, 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 no.
You know, Spooners. I
How you
always,
doing? How you doing, Joe? You good?
yeah, boy, and thanks very much. I remember a friend telling another one, they woke up the morning and the friend said to the other one, he said, boy, I have a pain in my foot. He said, that's good. That means you're alive.
Every day is a blessing, they say, right? When you get to a certain age, every day is a blessing. Yeah.
I agree with you, boy. Every
Yeah.
day is a blessing. That's
Yeah.
very true, Spooners.
Yep. Yep. Where's the big man?
Why? I don't know what happened to Chairman.
Chairman.
I communicated with him a while ago, and he told me to what happened. I think there was other person who was to be on tonight, which he had asked me to contact,
Yeah.
and I asked him to send him the link, but I don't know what was who all he had on for tonight now.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know if I was on tonight or not, so I just checked it, Clinton. Yeah, with
No,
Clinton.
well, man, you will add to this show, no doubt, Spooners. You
Yeah.
you have a lot to contribute, my brother.
Yes. Yes, and you see what I found? Because I'm cleaning up my house, going through stuff and throwing away. I found an old Association of Concerned Belizean shirt that we had.
I- Would you,
There it
you
is.
know,
Yeah.
you know something? That is one of the things that I found that you are in fact very big in. But I will recall now that when I get the sense that they were not what you thought they were to be, meaning non-partisan
Yeah.
or more nationalistic and good governance, but somehow it looked like they get attracted to the partisan issue.
Yeah. That's why I resigned, Joe.
Well, you need not tell me because that's what I want to big you up for.
Yeah.
You are not a part of the G7, but you're reflecting the same principles like the G7.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
And
Yeah.
I remember good when Cameo spoke about it. And I
Yeah.
knew you were very active. I mean, your presence had no doubt embellished them with some character and some things that they really needed. So it's unfortunate that, when they really reach the point of victory, they should have continued to be exactly
Yes.
what they were proponents of. Because we needed them. We needed that concerned Belizeans. We did.
Well, Dean Barrow had told us that he appreciates this group and he's hoping that after the election, whoever won, whether it was UDP or PUP, that this group would continue because he would have some problems within his party to keep control of some of his ministers, and we would be a good organization to help him, clean out his party. But of course, the majority of the members of the organization were partisan to UDP, whereas I was independent, and it killed it, which is a pity, because any other group trying to come out again, people are going to be cynical about it,
And I remember all the members, and some of them, I didn't know them to be that committed partisan-wise. I thought they
Yeah.
were more balanced. And
Yeah.
your presence in it, knowing who you are and what you have been.
Yeah.
made
Who
me-
I admired was Rommel Perdomo, even though he's a
Right.
known supporter of the UDP.
That's
He
right.
was very critical of his party, and he was very straightforward, and he criticized his party. If they were doing wrong, they were doing wrong, So I liked Rommel. He was not only a good friend and a nice man, but he had he had integrity, the Rommel
There's
that I know.
There's no doubt about that, my brother. And what Rommel proves to me is what I think behavioral scientists has proved. It's your environment. You see, he came out of an environment of his father being a strong PUP, his uncle being a strong PUP, but they
Yeah.
were upright citizens. They were not blind partisans. I knew his father very well. He was older than me, but we were very good friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can speak for people like them, and I don't want to be here flattering you because I'm not running any election again. But your father was one of those people too who I had looked up to as
Yeah.
in this community, as
Yeah. He was.
an
Yeah.
architect.
Yeah. My father, from what I hear from you and I hear from other people, that he was a principled man. Yeah. And
Very.
sometimes being principled is kind of difficult, you know.
You know who I met the other day? Which we quite some time. You know Anthony Turton?
Yes. 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 Yes.
He was a student of your father.
That's right.
He
Yeah.
didn't
And
go
he was a
to
very, very good draftsman turned
excellent.
architect. Yeah.
He didn't
Yeah.
go to university. He went to the
No.
University of Schooners.
Yeah.
No, he was. That's why I met him first.
Yeah. Well,
Because
when my father had left Belize, my father endorsed him and gave him all his clients when he left Belize. And sometimes there were certain jobs that you needed a qualified architect. That's why I believe he educated his children, civil engineer, architect, and so on. And so when they got projects that were funded by foreign organizations, that they could get the work, and he would come to my father for consultation. He'd fly up to Boston, and they would talk, and my father would help him out, you know. So there you go. But
well,
he was very proud of Anthony. Anthony was the one that stuck with him from day one till when my father left Belize.
and you see,
And he's a
so what
talented man
Anthony
too.
achieved. He became one of the biggest, and then the children followed.
Yeah.
But how I get to know your father as the architect is that you know Tommy Searle, right?
Yes.
All right. Tommy was an engineer here in Belize. Came first.
Tommy. Oh, you mean old man Tommy? Yeah.
Yeah. Tommy Searle, the father.
Yeah. The father. Yeah.
And I started at multi-site tourism, and I started at the bridge. And I was to build the building, and it was Tommy I got on board. I had borrowed $500,000 from the Caribbean Development Bank at the time. So he said to me, he said, Joel, take my advice. He said, the best man to do this thing for you is Spooners.
Wow. Yeah.
And that was how I come to know your father as the architect.
Yeah.
And that's why I come to meet Anthony, because Turton was the man who was doing the actual drawings and so.
That's right.
So
Yeah,
that
he was the
when
head
I
man
come to
there,
know him
yeah.
as the architect of Belize.
Yeah.
That was when I met Anthony Turton. So our lives have taught us a lot of things, which
Yeah.
I come to accept that we do have a lot of talents and skills.
Yeah. Well, they were good friends, my father and Mr. Tommy Searle.
That's right.
And old man Tommy, we call him Dads. The younger people call him Dads. But Mr. Searle, he married Minerva Lizarraga, Gwen Lizarraga's daughter.
That's right.
They had two children, Tony and Tommy. And those would be Johnny Searle's brother and sister. And they were my neighbors because when my father first came to Belize, we lived in the government house by the customs, by the Fort Point there. And that was my first house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, where are you? Yeah.
Well,
but I've known you. You were my neighbor for a while when you were the mayor down the road from me, from when I was doing the photo lab and the photography.
That's right.
You know, so.
Well, I have memories of you as a photographer because
yeah.
you used to do my political pictures, if I recall.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, but no, I was the PUP gave me a lot of work, and I had very mixed feelings about getting out there and speaking my mind, but my conscience took me away, you know. And
I guess.
But yes, they were, and I used to give them. I treated the PUP just like a client. They gave me a lot of work, and they got a discount. They got a 10 or 15% discount depending on the job that they gave me or whatever, you know.
Well, I guess you were a student of Shakespeare. It's not that you love your party less, but you love your country more.
Yeah. We're not live right now, are we? Are we?
Huh?
We're not live right now, true?
Well, I don't sure, but
I don't know because there's a message here. G Mike absent tonight. Well, I hope you all shed some lights on the Budna Decable case.
You are live. You are live.
Yeah, I really swear live.
Yeah,
the thing is that the thing about this show is that nobody can replace G Mike.
Nobody can replace him, true?
No, we can only hold over for him.
Yeah.
But it's so live.
If you want to speak first on an issue. And
I hear somebody in the background. I don't know if that's him in the background.
No, that's me. That's Clinton. I'm saying.
what I would suggest,
Y'all guys is live. Y'all is live. So
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
know.
Oh, we are live.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
So what
okay.
I would suggest that we spoke about things that were personal to us, but you brought up the topic that seems to be very sensational. But I think in the midst of it, there is something that we should be giving some serious thought to. And I have had a lot speaking about it, but come from different perspectives. Some obviously speak from the position of because of who the character is and seems to prejudge him. Some speak from a position of his rights being violated. And then some speaks about, well, you know, he left jail over there. Maybe that's where he should go back. What's your views on this thing, Em?
Well, I'm not lost. I'm not lost on what the implications are, what happened there. We don't know for sure yet. They say it's police with the new video. I've seen it a couple times. We don't know yet if it was a private. These guys were private off-duty policemen that abducted him. Were there orders given by the government themselves to do it? Were they hired by Guatemala to do it? I don't know, but I understand that due process was not carried out. That's not how you do things. In fact, I always wondered why he was never arrested in Belize and handed over. All Guatemala made note to the government of Belize that look, there's a convict that got away from us. He's there in Belize, and he's very open. He's a journalist. He's on TV. He's doing reports. He's on Facebook, etc., etc. Why that never occurred? Why they never brought him in? There's a lot of questions. Then I hear people saying that the prime minister needs to resign, Rosado needs to resign, Karim Musa needs to resign. That's what they're saying out there. I don't think that will ever happen, but I think clarity has to be brought to all of us. Now, what he did is despicable, so I have mixed emotions. I am glad that he's no longer in society, because you could have never known what else he could have done down the road. But he's no longer in our community. And so I am glad about that. But yes, I'm not lost on the implications, whether it was Guatemala that did it, because it shows that our security is weak, or what they call it, extrajudicial, or no, what is it?
Extrajudicial,
Yeah.
Beyond judiciary.
Yeah.
Extrajudicial.
Or it was the police just decided to do it without any special orders from any authority and so on. And it's been like almost 2 weeks now, right? And I don't think the government has really come out and addressed it properly. They've been pretty quiet about it, but it seems to be half and half. People are happy, they don't care about due process, and there's a lot of people out there who are concerned about the due process, what the implications are for how he was removed from Belize, regardless of what he did. That they find they don't like what he did, but they feel that the due process is more important.
So, well, I will take up on the issue of the due process, because I feel to be that is the most commanding consideration.
I just take it off in case Lauren is not on. Yeah.
In particularly given the September celebrations, which to me signifies the day when the nation was conceived, and September the 10th we celebrate. And we celebrate on September the 21st, which I see as the day when the nation was born. So that's how I bring the two things together. And I gave a speech on that when I was mayor to the city, that we must give recognition to both. And I'm saying this in the context of both now. This is the time we are celebrating our independence based on a constitution. And it is that constitution that gives this nation state its character and gives it a place in a civilized world of Belize. So to me, the point that you made, due process, it is there to me, is the most profound consideration we could give. I don't care how many crimes you may have committed. Yes, you need to be brought to justice for it. But you cannot give a man a fair trial and hang him in the morning. That is not according to our constitution. Simply because you believe the man is not a good man You give him a fair trial, but you hang in the morning. You don't do that. Whatever atrocities he may have committed, he must pay the price for it. But you cannot use those atrocities to deny any human beings of his rights under our democratic constitution, as we have. So I think that is the most important thing that you cited, the due process.
Yeah,
No.
it's sad that he has a person with that kind of record and the
Yes.
potential of what he could have done. He has become the poster boy for due process and rights of sovereign rights of our country and the citizens' rights in Belize. You know, it's just it's just sad that I would have preferred another kind of person. But that's why I say I have mixed emotion. I understand the importance of our sovereignty and of due process. I just wish that so much energy would also be spent on what Will Mahia puts up with when he goes to the Sarstoon, you know, with what is it called, the Belizean Territorial Army, when they go every 10th of September to show the sovereignty of Belize, and they stay on the side of our country, and the Guatemalans come and bully them and things like that, and you know, they come into our waters, and it doesn't seem to be as much uproar as what this guy Budner has happened to him. And you know, we seem to be spending all our energy on this, but I understand that this is not like Will being kidnapped. You know, in fact, wasn't a boat one time taken and taken into Guatemala, and then they were released? I think, if I'm not mistaken, in the Sarstoon. Wasn't there a report some time ago? I don't know how long ago, but my memory is ticking about that right now. But
Well,
I wish that more energy would be spent on the Sarstoon also. You know.
yeah. I will come back to your memory. I think I can remember the boat you're talking about. But let me
Yeah.
try to see if I could add anything more to your thoughts about the Budna issue. I think the Budna issue is indeed highlighting the kind of people and society we are. And it is telling us that perhaps, although we have a constitution from 1981, and this year we're celebrating the 44th, but it do ask us, how many of us are really familiar with that constitution? How many of us really understand the importance of the constitution? So I think that the sensationalism that was brought about because of whatever may have happened, the truth we don't have yet, or the facts rather. What to me is extremely important is whether there was due process. And don't allow the despicable things that he did to challenge our emotions and our... Obviously, emotions will always be there with us. So the despicable things he did in our mind, we are saying, boy, I wish they'd deal with that. But don't ever let our emotions not to have the benefit of our intellect. And there is where I think we'll make this, how we decide on this matter will depend on what kind of people we are. And I think the government by now should have been able to give something quite specific and clear. Perhaps they did and I didn't hear it. Was he in fact taken out of this country contrary to the laws of this country? And if he did, we need to know who did it and why.
Yes,
No,
we need to find that out.
he did
sure.
not. So to me, the government has a responsibility and a liability to explain to this nation, if it hasn't done yet, maybe he did it and I didn't hear it, as to what really happened.
Well, doesn't due process only come into the picture if it was sanctioned by the government of Belize or sanctioned by the government of Guatemala? If it was what they're speculating that it's the rich families in Guatemala who orchestrated it, or were these guys really police that did it, and were they independent of the government, and were, because we don't know how things are, Belize, were they hired by outside forces to commit that crime? You know,
I will be careful of, and that is, you see, there lies the danger in a nation state when the state doesn't come openly in a very transparent and accountable way and tell the nation what happened. And when it doesn't do it, it leaves the nation to speculate against the state, which we call the government, no? And then is when the speculation, depending on the character that is speculating. And this is what creates the problems in your society. No. Who is responsible to tell us exactly what happened? I think it's the law enforcement agency, the state then. Now, if Budna was removed from this country, contrary to the laws of this country, and more so because he's a citizen of this country, evidently that cannot be condoned. There is a process, and we first know Budna was a fugitive. We assume that to be true. He fled from Guatemala, where he was convicted and incarcerated. So he was a fugitive. And he came back to Belize, believing this was his sanctuary. And then he was taken back to Guatemala. What we need to know, and that's what we want to know, how did it happen? No, it's not for we, the citizens, to be speculating. But if you give us the state, tell us what happened, we just decide whether what they said is true or not. And here is where, if it hasn't been done, I would say the state is somewhat neglecting our responsibility to the citizen.
I will agree with you.
Why
They're keeping us in the dark?
All what it is doing is creating more and more speculation, creating more and more emotionalism to be boiling over. And then what happens to us? Here is it that we are about to celebrate our independence. And we are dealing with an issue that we should have known exactly what happened. What happened? Why is it that we cannot be told by the state and by the government what happened? Did you hear anything about what happened? Did the state make any statement?
No, only the one that Rosado did last week, I believe. That was the only statement that he made.
You recall exactly what he said?
No, I don't.
I guess if he made a statement, it was on behalf of the state.
Yeah. No, I don't remember exact word for word what he was saying, but they were saying that they were in the dark just like we were. And I believe he insinuated that they had nothing to do with it. The thing is, I would like to know, who are these men that took Budna? Are they policemen? I mean, we haven't been told. The video is out. We haven't been told that they are policemen. It does show you a policeman coming out. And I believe the people who are abducting him said that they are police. And then there were reports that along the way, when they were at the roadblocks, they were saying that they were police, but nobody checked their credentials. So have these men been identified now that they have the video? Are they working policemen? Are they policemen on duty right now? Were they on duty that night? Things like that.
Last week, the attorney, Dickie Bradley, was on the show, not the same show.
Yes, I was watching it, yeah.
Yes, and he is strongly of the view that they had violated the due process. They violated his constitutional rights. And I thought that's what he was saying. And from what he was saying, he had evidence to believe that it was done evidently aided and abetted by the law enforcement. That was his statement he made. Now I think that we
Look
have...
who's joined us, my goodness.
We can now turn over back.
Joe, we don't need him. Joe, we don't need him.
I don't. I love the conversation, and I've listened. I'm trying to get Lauren on a laptop that I have here.
Oh, she's there with you right now?
She's here at the house.
Why just sit down next to you then? Just sit down next to you?
Yeah, but she won't be able to hear because I'm hearing through my headphone.
Oh,
I don't want a double headphone thing like that, right?
You can't take off the headphone and have a speaker on? Yes.
No, I don't have a speaker.
On your computer, I'm going through my laptop speaker.
I don't have a laptop. And
okay, all right.
Then I came out of my Facebook page on the laptop to try to get her logged in. And then now to get me logged back on, I'm having a little issue.
Okay.
So
well, it's all right. Me and Joe took care of business. I think you weren't missed, So.
Yeah, I'm happy to know that. You two are not together too. I don't know how I can handle that. How I want to share a mic like that. Because
I must say, I'm glad you're on, because you take off a little pressure off of me, because I'm not well versed like you guys. You guys.
Well, I don't know what after work with Lauren. Here we are doing. Now go ahead for a minute. Let me try and see what I could do. Make it give it one more try. I just want to come on to make you guys know that I know where the abandoned ship, but
Yeah.
we had to try get Lauren on. And I really want to talk to she boy, but she's saying, well, we have to do it because I was hoping she'd come early that we could work out the kinks and get her on. No,
What
Yeah.
specifically, Mr. Chairman, you had in mind to discuss with her?
by the whole September celebrations and just her career and whatnot, how she was going. No, but we have a lot to discuss here with couple of these things where we're certainly Budna sucked all the energy out of the room, the whole saga there. And I don't think it's worth it. But of course, Jules is not letting it die. And I think it's unfortunate because they're going after Johnny, and that basically the anti-establishment thing on the way here. And that's sad because find other reasons to show me why he's wrong, but not using this Budna incident. Budna is not worth it. A vile human being, guilty of some horrendous acts, and found guilty before a court of law. And so, Joe, I imagine you have your own views on that. Give me a few. Let me deal with Lauren. I'll get right back to you guys. Right?
Yeah, I think it's good to get Lauren on. She would be a good asset tonight.
Oh man, she'd be wonderful to have on.
That's right.
Yeah. We haven't seen her for a long time. I remember she had a radio program, if I'm not mistaken, at one time.
She did.
You know, Fabalicious and all these other words that she used to
She was
create on her own. You know,
She was
can
extremely
remind us.
creative, extremely prolific in her creativity.
I did a shoot one time for a company out of America. I did a slideshow for them on their visit and their conference they had in Belize. They're the people who make the capsules that you put medication in. I think the name of their company was Capsule something. And they hired Lauren as a comedian. And I felt sorry for her at first because she was doing Belizean jokes and the people weren't getting it. Me and my assistant were getting it. But she realized it and she adapted it and she turned it into like Belize, but turned it into like where they can identify with America. And the jokes started coming out really good. So she's a talented person, you know. So she did well. But I was a little bit worried at first because the jokes weren't nothing worse than you do the jokes and then they get the laugh, you know, and it's because they didn't understand.
I guess this is Laurie that I'm seeing here.
Yes, that me, Mr. Cowie. How are you, Mr.
Oh, there you are. Hi.
How did you do, man? How did you do?
Allow me to
I'm
say
good,
something and to introduce Lauren.
Yes, man. How did you do?
You are
Big up.
introducing a person who is no stranger to me.
Well,
Lauren
yes,
has made
man.
me the person I was in my politics without being partisan.
Listen
And
to
that
me.
was the good of her. She was
But
able to-
when you go back there, so Mr. Spoon, that's the way you get out. You call like Gallywag now. You go like Gallywag.
Comedy night. I not got hair, but no, I could shake it. You know, if you
Yeah,
nice,
man.
you know.
Shake it,
Well,
it,
it's
man.
comedy night, right? You being the icon of comedy in Belize, and so I got to put my little piece in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Now here you, Mr. Cowie. How you did, man?
Well, darling, I want to tell you the truth. I haven't seen you so long. But
Aye, man.
my
Yeah.
memories of you are indelible in my head.
Listen to me. Same
You are
here.
not-
Same here.
You
Hear
have
me?
done so much for us in
Listen
terms
to
of entertaining our citizens at large. And what I admire about Laurie, she knew how to walk between the raindrops without getting wet.
You hear me? I just try one thing. I have to put on my umbrella like the man said. I left from home with my umbrella. I had to hand me umbrella. You hear me? Or my plastic. You remember the plastic there we put over here?
That's right.
When you never got raincoat and then afterwards then gone to the garbage bag, then big garbage bag.
That's right.
And then they fold it up and then they put it on you. If they never say that, well, you had your rain, what you call it, your rainette. When then lady used to get it come in and one leaf pack and then you haul it out, you put it on your head and tie it under your chin. And then you also had the rainette for your foot. Where you put your whole foot with your shoes in there and you had one little clip on the side and you put it on plastic rainette.
That's
I
great.
am illegal, so I know about them one day, and then we gone to rubber boots.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's right.
So we had rubber boots. We had the liberal rubber boots. We got that your ankle, and then the one we got your knee. You know, all that
That's
type of
great.
thing there.
Yeah, yeah. I remember those things. Now that you are mentioning them, I remember them. I never
And
thought
here
of
what happened, I could recall I'm going to school. And when school opens, early picking I get as long as your maga money, you get one raincoat. Augusto Kwan, Simon Kwan, Roberto
Yeah.
Chi. Uh-huh. You get your raincoats for name place there. I remember that very much, you know.
You had
Mm-hmm.
left Belize and when you had gone to the States to live for a little while. You back in Belize now
Yes, man,
for good?
yeah, me, I comes and goes as I have a mind. I am a retired citizen of the country of Belize and the United States of America.
There you go.
I come as I have a mind. Every time, as I told you, so there. This is a home, home, sweet home. No place like home.
Yep.
that's
All
right.
right.
I love Belize. I know, you know, I'm okay. I'm good. But as soon as things work my way, I want there full time.
Your
Yeah.
motherland is your motherland.
Well,
Listen
I
to
made
me.
that
Some
decision
is
in
your fatherland.
1991. I came back in 1991.
There is
I
no
lived in the
place.
States for a while, but it wasn't home. Had a
There
great
is no
experience
place.
there, met beautiful people there, but Belize was my home. So I came
Well,
back.
you know, the thing where I know like is that some people say, oh, why you dey go back home, where you dey go back home for? Not no, they go on there. This, that. I said the day one come, when you know, I'm glad for come back.
Yeah.
You see the day there? When you see the day there? All right.
Yeah.
The day is here. Who no
Yeah.
want come, need to come. And whom is say, well, I want to sat myself. Then you shove them on the plane and send them home. So before you do that, come at your own volition. Come
Yeah.
home.
They told me the same thing to why you're going back home. You have everything in America and so on. And when I came back, everybody was going over there and I was coming back. And when I looked at my classmates, I would say probably out of a class of 30 plus, only 10 of us came back to Belize or stayed in Belize. You know, the rest gone.
Personally, I am very sad about some of the situations. I'm very bad. I'm very sad, and I don't feel good about it, you know. But I chose to come home because for me, this is my home. This is where I want to be. This is where I long to be. I love my country. You know, I went over there for a little bit. I did what I had to do, and now I am back home most of the time. The only reason why I am not here fully is because, you know, my husband is over there.
Yeah.
And the Bible said what God had joined together, let no man put asunder, meaning enough to divide.
Yeah.
So I don't want to divide it, no.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to do things that you don't want to do. But I love Belize. And where
What?
you going there for? Where did this? Where did that? Listen to me. This is the place where we learn to say ABC, the Bunkan C, the capital coconut tree. 515521053 is 155420, right? That was Yahweh land for say CAT cat, RAT rat, MAT mat. Good. This is the schools where we went, where we learned that. We learned how to sit down. That as a young lady, you must keep your legs close, pull down your dresses over your knee, and place your hands crossed in your laps. The picnic, they don't know nothing about that now. It amazes me to see what's going on, and it hurts me to see because they don't have no school, nobody. How can the people give what they don't have? The people then, some of them where they don't know the thing for themselves, so how they want to teach them picnic because they got picnic for 16, 17, 18, 20. They themselves don't know. The Bible says, how can you teach if you don't know? Watch when we go out and then pass you. All the picking and the suck and teeth out of, no study she. We me dear suck teeth, Mr. Cowie. Huh?
Right,
Every
right.
teeth you me a sweller. Like old people say me a sweller every teeth. Manners make it a man. They not teach them how to say manners. Good morning. How do you do? I am doing well, thank you. And you? They know, all right. Me good. No man. No man. We have to do better than that in this country.
Let me ask you a question here, Larry. Everything you said, I fully agree with you. And I span 4 generations. I will be 83 this year. I think 83 in November.
Mm-hmm.
And I do recall indeed the early years of my life. primary school graduate at the best. That's what we had, nothing beyond that. But we had a sense of values. We had a sense of respect for elders. We had a sense of respect for law. We will not beg. We will not cheat. We had to do the chores. It was that generation that brought us to the proverbial promised land of independence.
Sure. Very true. Very, very
So
true.
I asked myself, Christ was like our Moses,
Mm-hmm.
but where is
Mm-hmm.
our Joshua that will take us beyond?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that even though we were able to have more people going, and I'm not belittling the value of tertiary level education, I never would do that. But why you think we had more people now opportunities to go to higher levels of education, but we had a different sense of values? In other words, our values was what was in it for us. Then it
There,
should go back to what is in it for I. So what you think brought that change? Because I
I,
think
I, I I think the whole change
you
start with
articulated
people,
so clearly just now.
people, people not feel a part of. They were not made to know that this is our country. We need to love it and we need to be there for the country means the people in the country. Be there for one another. Have respect for one another. As a child, I couldn't talk to nobody and say, no, yes, no, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. School taught you how to do those things, how to answer. School taught you how you sit down as a young lady. You sit down with your legs closed and your hands placed in your laps. They're not sit down, so no. Nobody sit down, nobody tell you to say good morning and how when you say good morning and they go about their business, we used to say good morning and how are you? And if they answer you back, we'll say, I am doing well, thank you. Pick they don't know about them mannerism there. The things that we learned as children, our children knows nothing about it. 30, either would have said anybody from 30 add down. They don't have no kind of deportment. The girl they sit down, they don't have down their dress. They look for the shortest pants where you could find. They feel like more is better, less is better. Leave something. Here how I say it. They not even give the man them one element of surprise. Everything just there right there. Ha, take her, go with them. No, that is not like that.
Yeah, the man wants a little bit of curiosity, no?
Yeah.
Give her the break. If you make it think, make it ponder, make it think, Man not do that now. They go straight for the prize. It's awful. Where has the mannerism gone for our girls? Huh? They don't even know how to answer. They don't know how to talk. Oh, go so, go so. It's not right. Then when we see people, they go, that's on school, but teach the business. Oh, they're not big time. And they pick all school can teach the same thing. All of them could teach the same thing. I remember going to school and learning all those things, and even generations after me, There are certain things that a girl is supposed to know to make her become the woman that she ought to be. To the day, then I tell you, the pants they not left nothing. They not left nothing if you make people think about everything. Just that they had they can't go with that. No, that not so. That is not the way it's supposed to be. And the man they just go with the program because they say, well, it's free, let us die. And a lot of them want die for true. For what? You see the disease were just gone. A lot of them die from it. Because of what? I believe that we as women, we are the mothers. We need to teach our daughters how to be decent women, how to sit, how to walk, how to talk. Give them the tools that they need to know so that they can be better women and better mothers, To the day you hear 16, 13, they have children. What is going on? What is in the minds of the children? The television. You supposed to monitor your children with what they watch. You can't watch all kind of thing. Huh? Me remember when we were small, we got children's corner with the lady Cynthia. I used to go to Radio Belize for when they got them children's corner. And they play the daily song with the chipmunks, Alvin and the chipmunk. Picking in one hear that now. When they hear one bikini panty come in, all of them start dance and start sway and get on like a flag. Then thing wrong. The whole system has gone to hell as far as I'm concerned. The Bible doesn't mean anything anymore. We had to go to Sunday school before we go to Martini. We had to go to Sunday school before we go to Martini. Me just live that 2452 Prisoner Creek where they now 15 Pine Street. That are the street before Boulevard. And we walk from there to St. Mary's School. Okay, that time Nad, I don't know, Mr. Kow, you remember Nad store?
Yes, sure, definitely going on.
Guy Nad me the day. We
yes,
walk,
yeah.
listen to me, we walk there the morning, get there for 8:30 and go back home 11:30 and get back for 1 o'clock. And we dares not get there late. Good. Cause teacher clock you and your mama clock you when you get home. Okay? And you know when school over, you go home. You had duties where you do. You wash up today, you wash up tomorrow. When you wash up, you sweep kitchen. You help your mother do all kind of thing. Okay? We women, we are not teaching the girls to be the women of tomorrow. Like when I say, how can they know what to do if there's no teacher? There's that like the situation, the thing miss one whole 3, 4, one whole 2, 3 where the thing name generation. The shorter the dress, the better it is.
What would you suggest, Florine, that will reverse the situation?
I don't know if it could be reversed, but the thing is that the young people that we have, they don't have nobody to teach them. That part for teach them done gone. I'm in no say. When, like the schools not do the thing where they're supposed to do. You know? Deportment. How to stand up. You learn how to stand up. They put one book on your head. And you have to stand up. You have to walk with your 2 hands to your side and walk down. For social thing. They not had anything there again. They not got speech again. They not got no speech in a school. That come off long time after school.
Do you think all of this came about after independence when we started to take over?
I really can't say if that after that or whatever, because the way how I see that about 1, 3 or 4 or 5 generation that just gone. You know, it's
because
like
we weren't as developed as we are now when it was a colony, but we had discipline and respect.
But that's what I'm saying. Then we learned all that. Much less now when they have TV, when they could see
TV is a problem. Was a problem.
Yes, it's a problem. But then there are things up there that you can see and learn. You can't put your picnic to watch anything turn to channel 9, channel 15. You need to say what channel 9 the show and make your picnic watch that. If that are the proper thing. But nobody no study nobody. They pick funny when they get the one teacher they tell me, okay, preschool. The action where the little boy they make that where the little boy they say, I want to do it to the little girl. She had was to talk to her when they tell him like chestnut cat. Like that's something good the little boy they do. The tearing where we may get for that, no? Huh. Boy, I did it. The Bible says, spare the rod and spoil the child. I know they say you have to overbeat them. I know they say you have to be cruel because for we days we get some serious meeting. Everything must be done in moderation. They cuss up front of the picnic. That's where the picnic pick up, the picnic do what they hear. The lead picnic when I meet past street, some big bad word, big for them out. Where they get that from? For home, for their surroundings. This I feel like this generation where we got here, they're like what it happened? All where they're interested in the name brand shoes, name brand hat, name brand clothes, and vehicle. Man, when we get one little tricycle, we feel like the whole world end. And that tricycle, you have to mind it. Because your mama come and back it upstairs and back it down. And then give permission for half an hour when you could do it. but there is no discipline whatsoever because there are absent fathers. Okay?
Yeah.
And that one big thing. And lot of the man then they take it make joke. Oh, I knock off 5 and then I knock off 6 and then anything wrong. Then thing wrong. Those things are wrong, especially if you have girl children. You do not want them for your child, so do not want it for anybody else. You know? We have to sit down and we have to be one example. But how can we be an example if I know uno know, but the rest no know? You know? Like where I say, the children and the young girl and they come out of school and then they graduate and by the time they come out, they got baby. Then the baby themselves, half of the things they don't know. What are we going to do? It's like a last generation.
In the health system, or when we deal with the health science, let's call it that, they say your genetics can predispose you to longevity, or it could predispose you to something negative, diabetes, kidney problems, various things. But science has proven that while your genetics predispose you, it's your environment that will predetermine you.
Very well. That is what I am saying.
So if we begin with that proven behavioral science, then don't you believe that we have become what we are? Because somewhere along the line we dropped the ball and we neglected the family unit.
Of
In other
course.
words, the family, which is the nation, is the sum of the family, and the whole will always be what the parts are. So common sense should be telling us that we need to go back to revisit the family structures.
Definitely because
Now we have the capacity, in my knowledge, the financial capacity, we have the behavioral scientist capacity, how to address these problems. For example, we have a Ministry of Human Development and Family Support. And there lies to me an area where you should be putting more money into to address these same problems. Now, I don't want to be diverting, but we will put it together. Presently, we have what they call a proposal for a 13th Amendment to deal with crime. But the government may be sincere. I do believe they are sincere, but I think they are sincerely wrong. Because you cannot address crime by suppressing the symptoms. So when you're going to arrest them during a state of emergency and you lock them down, when they come out, they're not changed. So I think the blunder now is that we are overlooking what is obvious. And the obvious is that invest in our families, invest in the environment of where our children and the parents are. That is where we need to put the money into. And if
I
you can
agree.
address the cause, when you go to a doctor, you'll show the symptoms. Let's say some skin symptoms and whatnot. But the doctor cannot address those symptoms by simply giving you some kind of ointment to alleviate the pain. No, he give you the item to relieve it. But he find out the cause and he address the cause. And when he address the cause, the symptoms gone. Is this sense for a government, whichever government it is, and we as a people come to accept we can address these problems because they begin from the cradle. So let's go back and address the cradle and the family environment. Won't you think that that's the one? When you're a person who I would feel, and again, I'm not here to flatter you, I know you're very enough. You would be the kind of person that would do well in the human development and family support area. That's why we need these kind of people we can develop programs to reverse those same things you're talking about. Because what you articulated so eloquently just now are the symptoms.
I know I don't really deal with government issues and stuff, but I want to say this. The government definitely need to have some programs for these young girls that are not able to get into high school. Because not all are we built for high school. Not all are we built for high tech education. Not all are we brains that the same thing. But they need to put money in programs like they had the what in it? Youth enhancement services that were for girls. They learn how to sew, they learn how to cook, they learn how to do those things. Not everybody make fee high up learning and computer. You're supposed to have something else beside that, so that A and let's go say A and B that, but C and D can be able to take care of themselves. Because a lot of the legal and the wrong beliefs they walk about. Because no school they can go. The parents they young, they don't have no money. Job no they fi make the man they could work. So then the legal they out there, and I want to be straight with you. Some of the mama they worthless, they sell the legal they not tell another joke. I tell you where I know and where I see. Okay? That's what some of the mama they do, because the legal they have to go carry home the money for the rest of them and for them eat and thing. Because the papa done gone. Because some of for women they I know a knock they. But you must, the Bible says you must drink water from one cistern, but they want drink from 3, 4, 5, 6. Try to, I know agree with more. I personally, that one woman where I settle for one. And I'll be straight with you. If you start to go, so you have to go. But that are me. Other women have more tolerance. Okay? And so they they will do what they have to do. But the way how I see it, the men also have to come up and say, listen to me, this way they do not correct. I got one lady with 3 picnic, I got one with 4. How I mind 2 family? What kind of salary then make them could do that? And we women, we allow it. We allow it because we look for love in all the wrong places. You know? Everybody wants somebody to say, hey, sweetie, you're pretty, you're this or that. And sometimes I don't lie. But we go with it because it make we feel good. But for how long? For how
Sweet
long?
talk.
For how long?
42, 33, 39.
For how long? Okay? Our women need to know that they are beautiful, they are precious, that they are smart, that they can do stuff. They need that of self-esteem building. The parents, many of us, self-esteem, that one word where a lot of people don't know about or exactly what that means. But you know, how you have to explain it. So for the children in a school, you have to tell them you're beautiful, you look. That's how it start for home. But how, like I say, how can you give what you don't know? How can you give what you don't have? And I see it every single day. I watch and I see situation where the legal they out there so are some big hardback man. They give them $5 that they start to groom them. They start to groom them and groom them and groom them to take advantage of them. And the legal and they don't know no better. They don't know no better. Then the mark the way to for they come with the $5 to buy the bread and one leap piece of cheese for supper. What are we going to do as a country? I know not government, I don't know nothing about government, but what is going to happen? What will happen to the girls of tomorrow? What will happen to the boys of tomorrow? If this is what we are seeing now, when I am dead and gone, when you are dead and gone, what are we going to have? What are we going to have? Instead of getting better, it's getting worse. It's getting worse. And all the money we are here to spend for street, who want to walk on the street? Who want to walk on the bridge?
85,
Huh? Who want to walk up there?
5.
Okay. I sit and I look at these young. Listen to me. One day I going home. They want always to tell me that something else, and I see this lady the ball. This lady the ball on the street. I dropped my thing and I gone right up to her. I said, darling, what happened? I hung up. I said, darling, what happened? What happened to you? I said, come. I haul in on my purse and I haul out one piece of thing and I wipe up here and I said, darling, come sit down. And I don't let her go and I hug her. Tell her, man, I said, everything was all right. I said, God got you. I said, don't worry about it. He look up, he said, oh, that Miss Lauren. I said, darling, what happened? Give me one story. I got right in on my purse. I never get any money. I got her under the store and I get the thing for her. That lady don't know what to do with me. I meet her the other day. I said, we're not going back there again. I said, how you did do? I said, so. I gone and I talked to somebody and I asked them if they don't want to cleaning and want to washing and thing. And when he see me, don't know where part for put itself. He said, Miss Lauren, I thank you. I said, so stop thank me now. I said, and thank the good Lord that I was in place to do it for you. I said, God, I said, I'm the angel for that day. I said, no, every day I go the angel. I said, but you thank God, okay? I said, and you do what you have to do. I said, and I tell her, I never just tell her for go buy right, so. I tell her, I said, no, you get this money. I say, I want to pass there and I want to contact you. And I tell her, I say, come. I tell her how much flour for buy, how the baking powder retail, how to get the retail lad, everything I show her how to do the beans. You only could have me get 1.5 pounds of beans. I said, well, we'll make this work with your whole week. He said, oh. I said, we'll buy all of this one lick with one amount of gas. I said, and you take out 1 cup, you hold that for the pizza and rice for Sunday. I said, and this cup here you take for the stew beans. I said, and this one here you take for the fried beans. I said, you want fried beans for this. I said, you put plenty onion in there, sweet pepper. I said, I stretch and good. I said, I said, and this next one here, that for in of the week when you need one next little bit. He said, Miss Lauren, I never hear that yet. I said, darling, you not worry about nothing. I say, you go you buy, I tell them about the 5 pounds of flour. I say, you take so much, you make tortilla. And this one, you get the picnic while eating with fried jack and everything. I meet him the other day, he laugh. He said, Miss Larry, you the magician. I said, girl, no put me so that a double thing. I said, me no go with that. So we hug up and we laugh, yeah? Can the older woman teach the younger girls what to do? Instead, we encourage them. We encourage them with man. Oh, yes, man, take it $2. Go spend it. Man, then thing wrong in the sight of God, man.
How young was the person that you helped there? How old was she?
About 22.
Okay. And she had how many children?
I had about 4.
4. Okay, wow.
You know? And I would have, I tell her, I said, darling, when you go to the market, I say I say when you go there, I said they got some lead thing, they will look lead kind of leeway. I say you buy then they. I say you see that leeway. I say when you go home you wash it off. I say you see how it look mash up so. I say put that right in at the egg and put that in at the beans. I say and that one good. I say and the good one you put for the chicken and thing. He laugh. He said, Miss Lauren, you really teach me. I said, girl, that somebody teach. I said that teach me that. I said so I pass it on to you, you know. We have to do what we have to do. Everybody want everything where they see. We don't know where the tennis their name and this and that. Mr. Cowie, I don't know about you, but we got Sal Physics. You remember Sal Physics?
That's right.
You remember Sal Physics?
Yeah,
and the boy then just get them bill for tennis from Sikofi, from Mr. Sikofi. Remember the brown one will come up here and then he had 2 rubber thing pan, one pan each side.
Converse.
Wait, man, we got Puss. Remember Puss from Bata?
Bata, that I mentioned Bata to you, but Club.
Mr. Club.
The man will get them kind of
yeah.
Class and low class.
Yes, man, but Bata, me got one thing then you Puss where should be in your foot and how much push me, Come me big, so me bust up the shoes there. Me got one time and buy one shoes for Mr. Wallman, me depa and right there up at Albert Street. Boy. Mm-hmm. And you go with the shoes right to the gate and my man had to carry it back. So here how he carry it back. He gone and he take it and he scrub off the bottom and he gone with it. Mr. Wallman say, "Ooh, girl too big. Ooh, she needs shoes. Iron shoes." Cause remember he couldn't talk good. So from then I know I can't get that. I just go to Bata and I buy one shoes near Tomba. But today everything we want somebody got, everybody got. Michael Kors, he rich, you know. He all right. Michael Kors rich. Michael Kors shoes no make you no brighter than the other person. Okay? The big time sneakers, the big time tennis when they got, no make you no better than the other person. That way they in your head count. Okay? All them frackan thing we buy for $1,500,000 no put you no way. Where in your head, stay in your head that you have to pay attention to. Teach the children them how to have manners, how to talk to people, how to say good morning and good evening and yes ma'am, no ma'am and thank you. Teach them how to eat with a knife and fork. Teach them how to do anything that so when they get big and they get amongst people of class, they know how to handle themselves. They know how to feel, no man. No, when they say, and so how you doing today? Yeah, right. No, man. I am doing well, thank you. They know, people know brought up see when they see it. Okay? And I want to tell you the truth, some of the big hardback man and they out there. When they look at the legal then and I pray to God anytime they start to do it, all their front teeth would have drop out of their mouth. Then to out of order. Me see one day one of them stand right up to show the legal packet. I said, no, you go straight home to your mother. I said, where part you live? We need to stop that thing, man. We need to stop that thing. We need to stop that thing. You dig me, Michael J? Hmm?
And you can hear me now?
Yeah, man, I hear you.
All right, I'll try doing a thing on this telephone. I hear on the phone a while now. That's the one wig spoon I got my head.
Yes,
Yeah.
It's
A Bob
my
Marley
roots.
wig. A
It's
Bob
my
Marley.
roots.
Back to my roots. Back to my roots. Back to my roots.
I thought, like I had told Joe, that like how Lauren was coming on and she's a comedian. She's serious, but she also is, we know her as a comedian. I
Oh,
thought I
yeah.
would be a comedian too, and and do this.
Really, I'm gonna try to get and hook up properly, and gone through so much stress and whatnot. But he promised me that tonight, that the first time when you come back with me, when we got time for reading.
Yeah, come back again, man. Listen to me. Listen to me. The best things for children, they have to let them be children. Let them act as children. Give them the break to be children, you know? Oh, well, I no got no money
Well,
for this
Lauren,
and
what do about the parents then? Where because at the end of the day, children gonna be children either way, but the guidance that they get, how can we get the parents to understand that there's a need to supervise these children, guide these children? You just not
because
drop them and make them go out on the world on their own man. And most of
here
them
what
raise
happened.
themselves.
Here what happened. Because things have changed through the centuries. Mothers used to stay at home, but now mothers have to work. They need two salary for make the house could run.
But
Okay?
explain this to me, because yes, things get more expensive on what, but there were times when parents were raising 12, 15 children. And there were times when some of the men had 2, 3 homes. Because you could say what you want about man nowadays, but man back then, me worthless to some of them.
Listen to me, the bottom line, man the man. So you can't do nothing about that. So you just do it, you have to be right. But the bottom line is that if the thing is, one woman have to know how to spend the money. And today there,
Well, that's
lot of thing they were never there. Because now you have to pay a cable bill. For all the picnic they got phone now. Okay? All the thing they not necessary. All them picnic no have to have phone. If the mother have one
for the school bag the other day, name brand thing when they want. Why you have to buy a name brand bag?
Why you encourage it? You as the mother, you don't have to buy it. You could tell them you don't have the money to buy it. Listen to me, picnic no rule, mama, you know. Mama.
They carry that court. They carry that court and say they abuse them.
No. You don't have to abuse. You only have to tell them, listen to me. This or not that. We not have no money for that. I make them understand that this money not there for that. This money that for pay the like. Which way you prefer? They in a darkness. You prefer for the staff? Oh,
Before we get serious back on this conversation, Lauren, make we talk a little bit about Lauren, and we call Lauren our name. Lauren and Manning, everybody I believe grew up with Lauren and Manning. In fact, Spoon, I'm going to tell me, remember you when you first came back, you were a big thing. When I'm why Lauren and Manning, and you used to come on every morning and raise your release, is that it?
I used to do that. Mr. Channel 5.
Oh, it's Mr. Crone,
Mr.
Stuart Crone.
Crone. Mr. Crone and Suzette. Suzette was the person who take where that made the head of the whole show. Suzette and then Ricky. Ricky that made the person where do all the thing they, you know, all the thing they, the key this and the key that and whatever. But Suzette was the person along with Mr. Crone. Okay? Mr. Stuart Crone. They asked me if I can do it, and then they do it with the step, you know, make it look like old time days people used to sit down past step and whole conversation. And these young people don't know, but there's a certain way how you put your skirt when you sit down past step. But them people don't know about that because they don't know nothing about step. But there's a special way how the woman, they used to get some wide skirt and then you hold your skirt and do so and you put it between your foot and then you sit down and then this piece hang down there. You see? But these children don't know about them thing and I think they need to know. But yesteryear. But that not really they happen now, you know? So with with all of that. So that Mr. Crone bring that up, and then Suzette and Suzette that made the person, Suzette Zayden, we used to do all this stuff, right? She that made the behind the person, the you know, the person where plan up the program, and then she tell me what and we put it together and things like that, you know? So
how many years the program will run?
I'd say almost two. Almost two. Probably
2 more years now, but
about that. But what happened, you know, after one while, things get high. You know, money not there for everything, and then people don't want sponsor, you know, people not the sponsor every time, you know, so we had to cut the program.
Well, Stuart Crone, I'm going to look for spend a lot of money neither. Because if you remember, I made the one last word for Stuart Crone at the end of the news every Friday. And when I got to the man will give me $40 a week. And I tell him, my boy, this time to buy the paper we have, because back then you never got like the technology now. You have to print out the paper. I used to write out one whole on the runic kind of thing and have to print it out on the paper, read it and put it on the teleprompter, and then you read it. And I tell her, I deserve at least anymore. And that the man said, boy, you will never make more than bare money doing this. And I'm saying, boy, he can't do this for just bare money. You know, so I'm saying something like that, he should have been groomed because it was popular. I mean, not only popular, I believe it, popular that scarce people eventually I'm going to get for be able to tap in over there. It wasn't as immediate as it is now, no? But I think that's something it was educational because I think you're ahead of your time, Lauren, and there was a lot of humor mixed in with the daily conversation and such, and everybody look forward to it every day, man.
Why I tell you that I mean one big thing. I gone to England, I do Lauren to England, I gone to New York, you know. I gone to a couple different places. I gone to where the place is San Andres, Colombia, different places I gone to, you know. But you know, right about now, Belize needs something to build them up and something to make them feel good and to make them laugh. And I mean, and putting the education part, I don't really want TV person, so I don't really know where all they happen. I know they have one lot of talk shows, but talk shows have its own place and it's okay. But then people need something more than that because the way how the world is right now, it's hard. There's a lot of disappointment. There's a lot of sadness that's going on, and people wouldn't understand, you know. I see a lot of women and they're really sad about different things, you know. A lot
You
of
know,
women have,
when you look at your time coming up, do you consider yourself fortunate or unfortunate? Because nowadays you got a lot more things. You got technology about, you got phone, you got when women come up, you basically had to find your own entertainment.
I
Which one?
believe,
Uh,
I think it's a great thing that it's happening, but we need to know how to use it, and we have to have what you call it. You have to know when to stop and when to begin, and that's where the children they don't have. Parents make the TV be the babysitter for the picnic day, and that's where the thing wrong. A lot of the time when you think the picnic and you watch A B C D Sesame Street, then you watch something else when you're back turn. You have to know what they are looking at and all that type of thing there. But it's horrible, more horrible now because a lot of parents they work. Two parents have to
yeah.
work now for the amount of things we have today. They're not like when my family work, when my family work, and
But
my mom just have
think we raise the standard a bit too high because you can't put your hat higher than
higher
for
than you
reach it.
could. But
You got
you see that television cars that American television can believes and can show them all kind of this is that shoes, this is that, and everybody see it and want it. The people when they're in America, they come in and it come bossy and think, oh, and I only buy this for $2, they lied. Then think cost a lot of money. But they tell you and they make believe people feel like they think so a lot of people there where they have people at states where they're the same thing. Everybody I read and now TV there, so they say everything. So everybody want it. That one lost thing to go on now.
But there are
Um,
two sides to that too. You can want it, but you don't have to get it. We look on some of the Chinese children, and they're the wealthier people, and their kids. When you look on, they're not going with all that bling and whatnot, but they're not some of the brightest ones in the class.
But they
So,
have a family unit, G. Mike. Like what Lauren was saying earlier on is that the family unit has been destroyed. The father is not there, and the mother is struggling on her own. And that
because listen to me, some of us as women, some of us as women, we don't have a priority straight, and we have a lot of issues like low self esteem, a lot of thing.
yeah.
And
But don't you think?
some men know and could see one person where such a thing they happen to, and when they talk to them, they know, oh, well, I could hold on to this one. So they take advantage of the situation and use that one there while they got them work their wife home. And some of us do it as a woman because we have needs and we don't have one job or the job or the money not enough, you know?
Well,
So it's kinda
listen.
like, mhm.
But here's the thing, though. Because now, the other day we had this controversy. Well, we seem to have it every year with clothes and how the children present themselves to school, and they need the uniform need to be a certain way. Don't you think that this is one of the ways in which they could keep it from getting extravagant? Because if everybody have to go on black sneakers, but you got one little boy that they got to school, like Air Jordan or something like one an expensive one, but he got one red stripe on it. But the teacher tell him, well, the uniform don't want black sneakers because of the fact that if you bring that, then the rest of the children in the classroom feel like they need to compete with that. They need to be for match that in an expense and whatnot. And if they make it standard where they just got one pair of sneakers that's available to everybody, isn't that a good thing as opposed to something that we should fight against?
I think, like what you say, they need to know that if you use black sneakers or black tennis, not come with no red stripe, blue stripe, full black and not a full black. I got a technical college and I'm Mr. Clive E. Gillett, and I know that a black shoes I could wear or black tennis. And I dares nobody there, never dares go with that. Cause when Big G walk the veranda and Mr. Satchwell with the one hat, you know that that's not correct. Because I through the door you're going or so much the merit and you want to work that out. But today there, if you're getting the merit, the buba can cost you a call away your gear for. And then you hear when the people in the, I know they say you have to go back to strap and thing like that. Cause I know like that thing there. but you have to have a way for punish them thing, and the parents need to stop it. If this that the rule, then you abide by the rule. That's why the children are disobedient and out of order.
But then
Because
when a Jews and Yaya Marine man, and then when you got it on the news
Yeah.
and
Yeah, the big issue right now that the hair.
yeah.
They
So
say
you
that
couldn't go to school right now, like that, Jeremy.
with the what?
You couldn't go to school like that, the way Jeremy.
no,
got
I couldn't. I couldn't go to school. I had to cut my hair
Yeah.
when I had hair.
But
Yeah.
listen to me.
Uh,
If you want to go to St. John's School, you put your picnic there, abide by the rules of St. John's School.
I
No go
agree,
there,
so.
no go there, go care for you thing there. You
I
care
agree.
on there, you may know when you take on that the rules, so live by the rules.
If
Okay?
you don't like it, go to our next
Yeah.
school.
Thank you. Take them out and go somewhere. Don't start no fight and television thing and foolishness. Then think
Yeah.
they're
No.
wrong.
Yeah,
Let's forget-
Yaya brings in the colonial system. It's the white man and the colonial system putting down people of color by not allowing them to grow their hair how they want them to grow it. You know, they
Well,
bring
I
out
get-
like that. But rules are rules to me. Rules are rules. If I go to SJC and they say my hair has to be above my ear and it can't go over my color, I agree with them.
If
And
you
if I don't
don't
like that, then I go to our next school.
go to someone another school. I agree with that.
You
Because then you just know that SJC all them place give you a paper long so, and you know exactly where the paper they say.
Yeah.
Because all of we know for read and write. Okay? So we know, so if you don't like it, then do your next best, like what we just say. You don't like it, do your next best. Eat your wax.
I hope we will settle that, because they don't look like they want to let go of that. They want to pick in and go do what they want, because they don't got nothing to do with education, but it does. They want part of discipline.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that-
Thank you.
you know,
Thank
For
you.
the
thank
real
you.
world, when you get out, go to the real world. Yeah.
So listen to me. If you get one job at the Ministry of Education, and when you get there, they tell you say that you have to use this, you have to sit down on this and this chair, and sit down on this chair. What right you have for one go carry one chair and one desk there and one down there? That's not correct. The people ain't got them desk and thank you. They say that I have to use, then you use that. If you don't like it, then go find somewhere about else to go. And the parents cause the children for not have no manners, no understanding, and no bratapsy. Because if you make them do that kind of thing, they and it's school this. And when the picking they go home, they got fried teacher and they got shoe principal for supper and for tea, then thing wrong. If you don't like it, do not say it in front of the children. Me never one day hear my ma ever one day say anything of ill repute. You know who we got? Alma G. Hinkson. One big red lady. She walk with the shashkadi in her hand. Anybody for St. Mary School could tell about she from standard 2 to standard 6 here. And if you don't like it, she tell you keep her home. Good.
You
But
remember,
they are-
you remember your report card used to have tardiness and absenteeism, and that all plays a role. I never realized it at the time, but what it does is it creates your discipline that when you go out to the outside world and you get a job, you just can't turn up when you want. You can't just turn up what time you decide you're coming to work, or I'm going to take off the day without permission, or just not come in. It's all discipline, and it's a training for the outside world. So
Exactly.
I'm a disciplinarian when it comes to things like that.
Listen to me, the children, they don't even know how to talk. So how are you doing today? Me all right? They not say you say that. I am doing well, thank you. And you? We had those things in school. They not have
You
that
and I
now.
were brought up in a different system.
Well, yeah.
You remember? I don't know if you remember a lady called Miss Vargas. Miss Vargas, I never joke. She was a Belizean lady. She was a teacher. She wasn't a nun. I used to go to St. Catherine's Elementary. They call it the punk school, the girls' school, because it's
Me know
part
Miss
of
Vargas
HCA.
good. Miss
She'd
Vargas-
never joke. If you couldn't pronounce the word correctly, she'd have you repeat it. If you not do it right, she'd bust you up on your nose.
Yeah, when we
Whop
happen,
you at your
you
knuckles.
had to listen to me. You had
Vargas
when-
was right next to him.
You remember that, Miss Vargas and Joe?
Right next to Majestic
She was a
Theater.
strict person.
listen to me.
spoke
The
perfect English.
lady me Etel Vargas.
That's right.
She spoke perfect
Uh-huh.
English. And
Listen
that's
to
why
me.
a lot of us who were in her class, we could speak Creole. There's a time to speak Creole and there's a time to speak English.
And
And
did
she
you
taught
know?
us how
And
to
did
speak
you know?
good English.
And did you know? Then they make big thing now. Listen to me. A lot of them when they go to school go write English, they put the wrong thing. Okay, RIGHT is right. They put RIT. They put the Creole RITE. That's wrong.
Well,
RITE is for
well,
Creole.
Lauren, speaking of that, do you think Creole should be made an official language? Because it ain't got dictionary and all of that now.
No, no, no.
I know really. Listen to me. I know what say that we'll call it that one another name they got for it.
Dialect.
One dialect. And I agree it is a dialect. But not make one. Me, I like me Creole because I got the juice for you
We all do.
understand. When you
We
say
all
boy
do.
go so, when you boy go so, boy that say boy go over there.
Go over
No,
there.
you see to me, I boy go so, boy Konya, go there, pitch that there, throw that there.
But
That
I get
that
one.
is that has it has its place. It
I
has its
don't know
place.
how you all get one Creole dictionary because men and we talk Creole different way.
And we
Every
spell
time
it
you
our
talk,
own way.
sometimes I use different words, different phrases for say the same thing. And it seems like the worse Creole you talk, the better you talk it. So I think
Listen to,
we need to look for
because you
that.
got because listen to me. When I just step on TV, they say I talk broad Creole.
Right.
Okay, so you got Creole and you got broad Creole.
And
Okay.
then and then you gotta stay and I tell you lighten your tongue.
Well, you
Right?
know how that go. You
Yeah,
know
and
how that.
when Sane come back, well you better
Boy,
understand where
see,
in the cell are in.
boys, see that
Then
over there. See that over there.
they come back
But
with different name. Ferguson is
so I
Ferguson.
like about Lauren. Lauren to come back to talk no Yankee, yang. She talk her Belizean accent.
Listen
Know
to
what I
me.
mean?
But
They either Belize till me
but
But
either
they
if,
said.
change it.
even the name there, they can come back with different names. Sanchez is now Sanchez. They had a boy when my son tell me in a class with a boy when he in Lefleur. I said, if I Belize, I said, Belize and Lefleur, way. No man, that's a French. He said, no, the man. I said, boy, ask that boy what a real name.
What you
When
say?
he Ghana, the boy named Flores. But he not stop the flowers. He not gonna flower. He got straight to the floor. He not French. I said, I
You
said this
know,
thing. They get,
lot of people. Oh, you the talk bad Creole. Oh, you the this. Listen to me. Creole got the juice for you understand. You could express yourself. You could talk how you like. And listen to me. You need to know your English. You need to know your Spanish if you have to, or whatever
it
you
was
choose.
nice to know. I think we need to teach children our Spanish. Yeah,
Yes,
you
I
need
do. I
that.
wish I knew Spanish. I wish I really did.
When
I only know cuantos and vámonos arriba.
I wish you
well,
never know Creole, so we're gonna talk about you now.
well, I know when I'm in the go to school, one man when my name Mr. Fox, they used to go school broadcast, and they had one man when my name Mr. Fox when they had one program for education department, and they used to have the days when they got Spanish and when they got English and things like that. It's this each class had one radio, and they used to turn on the radio at 1 o'clock to 1:30, and you listen to Mr. Fox. He was well spoken, very nice man. I always remember him. His wife was Marie Fox, and she worked at the YWCA for years. But he was a man who spoke very nice and things like that. And they used to do schools broadcasts. You know, they had
Well,
different things where they do.
Sefe used to work to speak very well too, you know.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, man.
He had a good diction and you could understand her, no?
Tom
So
Greenwood,
Yep.
Ernesto
listen to me.
Yes,
Vasquez, they
Tom
all
Greenwood.
speak good English.
Everybody, I have to say this. Everybody, no matter how much Creole you talk, because I only know for twang me tongue when I ready. When I get in my position, and listen to me. I love Mr. Webster. I used to read Mr. Webster when I'm small. Okay? I just read my dictionary. So me like big words. And then type a thing there. Okay? Even up to now. So me could handle my English good. Well, the estemecitos de español solo poquitito de quito, but I good. I alright.
You got that. Anyway, I'm going to move on to a few things. Lauren, the lady, pass the next lady gun and the lady shoot the man. Where they go on without the story there?
West story that?
You know, see the one that Belma Pan when the lady passed the gun to her niece and the niece shoot the man. You
Well,
miss?
I think I hear about that, but I don't think that correct, man. That not correct. You're not
Joe,
encourage. You're not
where you at,
encourage crime.
Joe?
You're not gonna encourage crime.
Yeah. I heard
That
something that made me
that should have never been done.
Yeah.
You don't encourage such things. Such things are supposed to pacify. You know.
I heard something that made me think a little bit differently about it. Apparently, the young man was parking his car
Okay.
while these two were behind her car, and that is when she passed over the gun to the young girl. So something like that looks like that's either premeditated or I'm just speculating now, but I didn't realize the guy came on the scene, parked the car, and then walked over to them, and that's when she handed the gun over to the girl. Why would she do that? Unless she didn't want to shoot the guy in retaliation, so she gave it to the young girl, and the young girl did her own thing and shot the guy. I don't know. Was the gun handed back to the lady after the shooting?
Then I don't know that they showed that part. I didn't see that part in the video, but the fact is, there are several possibilities there, you know. And somebody was saying it the other morning that maybe she just never want to get herself in a trouble and say, "Girl, hold this gun because I don't want to shoot this man." And the niece say, "Well, make I shoot on then." So that might be why they charge the niece and not her. But this is one funny thing now. This is the next thing, Lauren. Because apparently the lady, the bally find in the lady bag, and I read this somewhere, one box of condom with one missing after he gone out and hang out all night.
Come home 5 o'clock.
Is it a crime of passion?
It sounds so.
Yeah.
It sounds so. But listen to me. I not believe in a no shooting. Because we not make no life and we not protect none. That are me. But I believe in a situation like that. You should never make something go way up, you know, to all of that. Over one simple thing. You know?
But girl, that's not simple though, girl. That's not simple. If you find, if you're gentleman, go out now and you come home and you find a condom in a pocket, how you want to feel?
Listen to me. I know why not to go shoot nobody for that. It is not my prerogative to go shoot nobody for that. Sit down and talk to him and find out exactly what happened. Because looks make things look one different way. Yes, one missing. Wait, man. The thing is right away, the first thing come to your mind that well something going on. Make sit down and talk to the man. You can't just stick up guns so because you don't make no life. That is wrong.
I don't see it as happening as such, but they had an argument, obviously.
Oh, they had an argument.
Yeah, obviously they were arguing about it and whatnot, and then I don't know if the man made a threaten them, and that has to be ascertained, no? That's something when they before the court, and we have to look upon that more carefully. When we talk about that more when we get more detail.
Listen to me, the man dead, right? The man dead?
Yeah.
Dead.
So she was a looker too. When you look at her, she was a fine-looking lady too.
Listen to me. So how? What happened? Why would she put herself in at that? Walk away. We need to stop this foolishness. Yeah. We need to think and consider before you do something. Yeah. Why would you pick up one gun, pick up yourself and go down the street, go walk? When sometimes we need.
No, that's what happened though.
Okay, that's how you go.
Why she went and box a condom in a bag?
The argument started from that, yeah.
So that's something that. So you have to look from a man now, from a man's point of view. We men have fragile egos, you know. We play big and bad and whatnot, but things like that mess we up because where would it go on now? That obviously something that happened. Condoms not used for nothing but one thing.
We know where used for. Yeah, I understand.
And you got one missing out of the box.
So
They're not
something
phone like.
gone on, something there was some action.
But
So,
Mr. Chairman,
uh-huh.
I saw a tape which we all saw, and yes, the gentleman was coming around to the front of the car. We saw when the common law wife, the aunt of the girl, passed the gun to her, and then that was the end of that video. Then what we picked up after that, that it was the niece that shot the man.
Right.
Now, if we go on what we are speculating about a condom, to me, that could have been impulse in anger, but not for the niece. That would have to be for the common law wife, because it's not the niece that that the
That
condom
had
was
it,
found with.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is the aunt. But why would it? No, I could understand in the case of an impulse in anger, the
Mm-hmm.
man felt indeed that what he found hurted him, but it was not the common law wife that shot him. It was the
Right.
niece.
Right. If she, and it didn't seem like he was going after the niece. He was going after the woman.
That's right.
So the niece now, and hence the charge. I imagine that
Gone to
of
the niece.
manslaughter, no. So
Gone to the niece.
that one day, oh, the jury's still out, and that one we have to see how that then come in. But the next one now, and we have to get you must hear about this one now. Where they going, your boy Budna? How you gonna handle that one?
Boy, I'm a be straight with you, you see me? Me not pay no attention to news. Because news, the problem. The two things news do. You either feel good or you feel terrible. I don't want nothing to make I feel more terrible sometimes, you know. I just like I said, Satan myself. And I hear them talk about the thing with Budna. And I hear couple pieces and couple different things, you know. I listen I listen to when people talk, and it seems to me like most Belizeans are saying that he got a raw deal. You know, this is what I hear people saying, that he really got a raw deal. I don't know the whole story, so I don't really draw no conclusion to it. Kind of really hear it. To be honest, I don't listen to news because I feel like news either make you or break you. And I don't
Well,
really want. Mm.
we need to discuss some of the facts as it exists. We know them. Budna did some time in Belize prison for assault on a child, a 14-year-old actual boy who he supposedly raped. He got about 10 years for that, I believe. Left from Belize and went to live in Guatemala. While he was over there, he was involved in some kidnappings of people, which is interesting. It turns out he gets kidnapped. That's ironic. But he was kidnapping people and holding them for ransom. The Guatemalans found out, arrested him, took him to court, found him guilty, and sentenced him to 25 years in jail. They then would not play sick, carry on a hospital, he got through a window and escaped. I'm saying, I'm looking at Guatemala in a different light. If they may believe, may get a hospital so quick and be allowed to go through no window, you try that at Belize and see how quick you get a hospital. So at that time you are dead first. So the conditions obviously weren't as bad, but when he ran back to Belize, and Belize, everybody in Belize knew it because they told them that. Budna did not lay low. Budna started to live all over the place and taunt everybody. One boy not last shine a bullwhip because he gonna try to tell him something. Now the other day, now here's the thing that puts a whole new different light on this matter. No one light, but one different twist. Budna catch a man they drive drunk and take away keys. All of a sudden, Budna became a hero. And this, riding on this, I can't see somebody so lucky because I can't see him have planned that for coincide with this, but it certainly led up to this, that people are now feeling sorry for him, even after all he has done. I find it unfortunate that they're turning it political and the cry for Johnny Briseno head, Rosado head as commissioner, that they don't want
No, that the government, the government, this and that, all that good and well, Lauren. I wish we had an opposition in waiting that could take over should this government fall. I don't think we can afford to have this government fall without no opposition in place. You're there with me, Pandis, or not follow this?
I hear what you say.
So I don't know, and I'm not saying this from a PUP, though I know I have one staunch UDP and one staunch PUP on the panel with me tonight.
Well, I want say
I don't know Joe the UDP. Joe, when you know UDP.
Well, you hear me, either GUP, God United Party. That's he party idea under.
So that the GMIC Association of Concerned Belizeans, ACB, all right? I'm independent. The rest of the crew work, but I'm independent.
That's the one I don't trust, because I want to bring down the government and put in another government, and then all of a sudden stop crying for good governance.
I hear you.
We're going on with UNCAP. We're going on with the United Nations, whether the whole on corruption. We're going on that. We're supposed to have signed it. Where they go on? Because if we had that in place, we could have independent investigators. Because right now, where they go on with this, put nothing that the police will have to investigate the police.
Well, maybe Joe can enlighten us, Joe. Maybe you can enlighten us because you...
Well, in the beginning of the show, we had a discussion on the Budna case. My perspective is that if it is a case where he was removed from Belize, contrary to our laws, I would say that is wrong. And it's not how many crimes he may have committed, that because now you believe that he did something wrong before, and we have a suspicion that he may have been wrong, you can't just say, well, give him a fair trial and hang him in the morning.
Trial for what, Joe?
I am saying that the state has a responsibility, and I'm not sure if they have lived up to it, but to let this nation know what happened. Was it that Budna was removed from here contrary to the laws of this country? We should know that.
Joe, I believe now what we should have done was when Budna first came here as a fugitive, because harboring a fugitive is a crime. And I think that was international crime. So we were harboring him because we knew well what he was doing. Now, if it was when he got to putting pressure on the Prime Minister because he went after Johnny Bisheno harshly, and that might be where Jules has found some common ground with him, because lately Jules has been going harshly also. So if that is why they grabbed him and took him over, then you could look at that and say, well, come on, man, that no. But the man was convicted of a crime, serious crimes, kidnapping no less, serving time in prison, escaped from that and come. I don't know that Guatemala had requested for extradition. I don't know if they would have gotten it, because Belizeans, and I think we have to get over it at some point, we have a hatred and a fear of Guatemala. We don't even want to live together.
Let's not forget the 14-year-old boy that was in his bedroom, in his bed, that was shot and killed. Don't forget about that.
I think it was 16, yeah, but it was a minor.
Yeah.
And what came of that? Who, and we don't know, was there any investigation into it, or they just took his word? Because right now it seems like Belize is willing to take Budna's word for anything. So I think that one.
Yeah, but
well, Brett Toombs said on a post today on Facebook that he's entitled to sue the government for a lot of money. Now that the irony about that, me and you gonna have to pay for him if he ever takes it to court.
But much of what I have been hearing is all emotions. And we cannot allow our emotions to dominate our thinking. At least make it have the benefit of our intellect. The issue to me is one that we should all able to understand. What is it that we want to know? What we should want to know was if his rights was violated, then fine. Then his right was violated and the law must take its course. If Budna came here, and here is where the speculation begins. Budna escaped, which is supposed to be a fact. He became a fugitive from Guatemalan justice system.
Right.
Sought refuge in Belize. Now I'm hearing, and this is what I'm hearing from the chairman now, and I guess there might be some truth to it. You're saying that the state, the law enforcement of Belize, was aware that Budna had escaped from prison and come to Belize.
Yes, yes. Everybody was aware. That was common knowledge.
What is it that the state should have done? Our law enforcement was there to arrest him and hold him on behalf of Guatemala. Is that the law? Is that the constitution? Is that what was to be done?
I believe Guatemala should have initiated a process to have him returned, but I guess they never did either.
No, but let's assume, we'll make some assumptions to try to determine in a rational, intelligent way what may have gone wrong and what is it we need to correct. He comes to Belize, of course, as a fugitive from incarceration in Guatemala.
Right.
And we are saying that the law enforcement in Belize, we assume it to be true, was aware. So if the law enforcement was aware, what was their responsibility under the law? The law. I think I keep saying this, and I know the chairman has some difference with me about it. But I believe in the rule of law.
All right. So, and this man had broken the law, was incarcerated. We could have asked Guatemala for details on that case. And if we want to look at it as to whether he was treated fairly or not, and if he was treated fairly, I would have turned him back over to them, arrested him, and turned him over because he's an wanted fugitive, escaped fugitive. Now, given the young man's character, given Budna's character and his rap sheet, if you will, given his history of what he was doing, it wasn't nice and it was against children. And I think, Lauren, I would imagine that you would be a bit partial to justice along that line because they can't look out for themselves. They depend on us adults to look out for them. I don't think this man should be treated as no damn celebrity. That's for sure.
But Mr. Chairman, I think again we are going into more emotional thinking. One,
well, there's emotion involved, yes.
He should not be treated as a celebrity. No, I don't know who is treating him as a celebrity. I don't know who is.
We all are. Right now, he's the celebrity. He's the discussion of every conversation
but I'm saying,
all over the country.
Who is making him a celebrity? I didn't know of anybody making him a celebrity. Unless I want to tell you a celebrity.
What is your definition of a celebrity? A man who is famous and talked about and looked up to. People are looking at that now. This man, yes, he's a hero. What we
yes, Mr. Chairman, you have that knowledge, which I don't have, that he is being treated as a celebrity. Fine.
Yes.
Let's assume he's being treated as a celebrity.
Right.
No, to me, it's not how we may perceive him, it's how the court should perceive him. That is where we get justice. In other words, if I had committed 5 crimes and I paid my time, so you are saying that on mere suspicion, I can be taken and incarcerated simply because...
How can you mix that like that, Joe? You misrepresent that fact. He did not serve anything.
I am not clearly. I'm in my mind and in my expressions of my interpretation. I think I am speaking with clarity. Right. All I am saying to you is that how many wrongs a person may have committed, when now there is suspicion that he have committed an offense, he must go through the due process of a trial. You can't just simply say, hang him because he was wrong before. No, I am emphasizing.
But what happens now then?
Huh?
The act has already happened. So what happens now?
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
The act has already been, the act has happened. He's back in Guatemala. So what happens now? What do we do now?
All right, that's why I would say no. That since there is some concern among some legitimate minds, is that how was he removed from here? Was it in accordance with due process? And if it is that, then it finished. For me, done. That's how
If
we need
it's
to do
not,
it.
it can be done. If it was removed in due process, it's done. But if
Yeah.
he was not removed, Aaron Anderson has said Guatemala had to request his return. If they did
Yes.
not, then he was not a criminal. That's a law. Boy, that was a tricky one. I don't know about that. He was living in Guatemala at the time he committed these acts in Guatemala. He was arrested in Guatemala and taken to court and convicted. He was tried in a court of law and convicted. It was after being convicted that he escaped from legal custody and sought refuge across the border. Now you could say, all right, once you cross the border, you get away, but do we really want to be condoning that, upholding that, and harboring criminals as such? We have to
Hmm.
ask ourselves where we stand on that.
When where we should stand on it, Mr. Chairman, is in accordance
Hmm.
with our rule of law. That's all I'm saying. It's not for you nor I to pass a judgment in the sense of we can have an opinion. Nothing wrong in having an opinion about what we think of Budna. But my concern is limited only to whether it was done in accordance with the rule of law. Let's look at Guatemala under the extradition agreement. All right. Guatemala just had to seek extradition of him. Why it was done, I don't know. But once he seeks the extradition, then evidently he would have to go to a court in Belize to determine whether the extradition agreement we have is it fulfilled to return him.
Hmm.
And that's all I'm saying. We cannot believe that
I
we will have a vigilante type society. We'll give the man a fair trial and just hang the man because you don't convict him. No, you can't have a vigilante society. We have to go by our
I'm
rule of
I'm
law. That's
seeing
all I'm saying.
I'm seeing where people are concerned, because they're figuring that they did it because he angered some people. I can see that. I think, though, that the risk involved in this is causing a turmoil right now in our whole system of governance. This has turned things upside down. The apple barrel, the apple cat, the turnover. Is it worth it? Because this gentleman, I could understand if they had two things I would be very upset was if there was an ordinary citizen that had committed no crime. I could look at that. The next one was is Guatemalan officials had come over and arrested him and taken him over there. I would have had serious problem with that. But if you had off-duty even police officers, maybe doing a bounty hunter kind of job, the Guatemalans said, why we want this man back? This legal process don't look like he can work for we. We know why he got through the trouble that he drop him across the border and we give him $200,000.
Yeah, but,
I,
yeah, but Mr. Chairman, again, these
yes,
are
that's speculation. That is speculation.
no, there are scenarios which indeed you are speculating on. But somebody put up something just a few words, and I think those few words were very salient and valuable. He's saying that if there is an extradition agreement, then go through the extradition agreement. And that's all I'm saying. We have to be governed by a rule of law. It's not evidently.
All right, now
If
listen,
one
I'm
of
not
your
going to
children,
show Glenn full of the stuff. What, give me a minute because I read this one, Glenn. Unvarnished summary of allegations and events involving Dr. Richard Rosado and the Belize Police Department. Dr. Richard Rosado's father reportedly died at the hands of Belizean police. After his death, Rosado's family remained closely surrounded by law enforcement personnel. One relative served as a police constable. Reports later surfaced that Rosado's mother was involved in a long-term affair with a police officer entitled and identified in some accounts as either Hugo or Puga, according to why that one lot of unfounded craziness there. I read that, but I don't get. I don't know what kind of credibility something like that have. It sounds to me like lot of rumor. I don't recall any of that. I always figured Rosado would have made a good commissioner because he was eloquent, and a thinking person. That was my opinion. I don't know what people think now of his performance so far, and are we going to judge him by this incident?
What the question I would ask now, Mr. Chairman, something came up on the screen and you read it.
Right.
For my own edification, what's the relevance of what he said there? Tell me what was it?
I don't know because he was
No,
talking
yeah.
about some
We
history.
were talking about the issue with Butna.
Rosado's father.
And then an issue came up about the commissioner. I think he's the commissioner he's referring to, right?
Right,
Rosado.
right,
Dr. Rosado,
Right.
who is the commissioner. And then
Right,
he's mentioning about things that had transpired within the family and with other policemen or policemen. And I am asking myself now, here we are on a show which we hope we can learn from each other and which we hope the listeners and the viewers will benefit from. And at the end of the day, we all become more enlightened as citizens of this country and participating in our public affairs. And I ask myself sometimes, why is it some people just jump out of the blue and bring up things? And I cite in the Budna case, the amount of nonsense I hear, the amount of things I hear, and it has nothing to do with addressing what I believe should be the real concern. And why? The evidence is there before us if we stop and we look for it. Not long ago, we spent sizable amount of money by the Constitutional Commission to review our constitution. And they did a survey, and that survey was made public. And if I remember well, they are saying only 2% of the population based on the survey is familiar with the constitution. So, Mr. Chairman, we here on this show would in fact contribute to the listeners and viewers a better understanding of how we ought to be governed as a society. Than rather everybody just jumping up and saying things that have no relevance as to how we ought to be governed. So if only 2% of us familiar with the Constitution, I could understand why these lot of things are being just thrown out there. And it's not good for us. If there is an extradition
Let's
agreement...
go back to a previous conversation, or part of this conversation, about what needs to be taught to our children in school. Don't you think civics ought to be a subject returned to the classrooms and early in education?
Well, civic is still being taught in the schools. What we may want to be, we may want certain things to be added to it, and some believe the Constitution should be added to it, and I would support that.
Primary. How can we discuss anything else concerning civics and laws and governance without the Constitution? Because that's the supreme law of the land, isn't it?
But let's follow the rationale. Let's follow the rationale of that statement. If you went to school and you've gone up to the tertiary level of an associate degree and then you're going into a bachelor's degree, but you were not taught the Constitution in primary school because it was not part of the civic program, don't you think you, as a matured person now, would have the obligation as a citizen of this country to want to know the Constitution? You can't be depending on the state to want to provide all the information to you in your life. Your education ends when you die. It doesn't end when you come out of a formal institution. So to me, for us to be sometimes wanting to say the government should have been teaching it, yes, it may have. But how many of us learn things other than what we learn in school? Where education continue when we leave the portal of that formal institution?
I hear you. I don't know. I wouldn't let off the school system so easy. I wouldn't put such an onus on everybody else out there, because that's why you go to school. That's why we got strict regulations of going to school. That's why we pay teachers. That's why they should be teaching that. And by the time they develop enough of an interest in the children that they would want to go on and read more. And I'm not saying teach every letter of the book, but at least introduce it, man.
But Mr. Chairman, here again, I believe we were all taught. My children were. They were taught critical thinking in school. So I am not here to suggest to you that we have and educational institutions with perfection in terms of the curriculum, they must continue to be improved on. But then to be sometimes want to put blame on the school when the shaping of the child begins from the cradle.
Sure.
It is in the cradle it begins, so you cannot shift that to the school and say the school must take on the responsibility to do this and do that. The family.
How long have we been independent as a country? 40, how many years? 44 this year, correct?
Yes.
When do you get to the point, and you are saying it has to be improved, it's not perfect, at what point would you were going to say, boy, we need to teach your people the laws of our nation? At what point? 44, not kind of like late in the game?
Mr. Chairman, let me leave you with a proverb from an African great thinker. He said the best time to plant the tree was 20 years ago, but the next best time is now. If we didn't do it then let us do it now. That's what we should be talking about.
All right, listen, at 9 o'clock, Lauren, I wish when we got the whole thing set up, girl, we're going to talk to you.
I will come back again. I'm coming back again.
We'll hold you to that, all right?
Sure, man.
Guys,
Definitely.
any final thoughts, anything we missed on this one? And there were some things, I got my whole list for you in the next room in front of Lauren, so I don't know where are you guys held well for the first part of the show? No, almost want to overthrow me now and tell me come back.
Me and Joe going to meet and we're going to talk about that. Yeah,
but I must tell you this.
We're going to vote later.
When I saw the person, it brought back a lot of pleasant memories when I saw Lauren. Because she's a person I have a great respect for. And I'm not saying this to flatter her because I'm not running in any election. But I said to her earlier, I admired her. Because in his committee, she was giving us a lot of learning. She did. And I thought that she was the person who can walk between the raindrops without getting wet. She was not partisan. But she did a lot of work in Caribbean shows for our young people at many of our events. Yeah. But never one day was there raising no flag in terms of partisan politics. So she had a great respect. Laurie, I'm glad to see you again.
Same here. Same here. Same here, Mr. Cowie. I was so surprised to see, let me tell you, I was just so happy. I have such good memories of you going to MC for your Mother's Day programs and all that, and the way you treated the women and even the men, and you really took care of the children, and that's the important thing because them children, they grown now, they have grandchildren now, so. You've left a long legacy for us as Belizeans, and I am grateful for that.
Wipe the sweat off my head, but
and I see how them girl could wear them bloody wigs, man. God, man. You know this when them girl they fight the first thing they do, they holler.
Grab up the wig.
When I came on first, I don't want to know who that is guest that I see the name.
But guess what happened, Mr. Spooners? Now the wig they're not so apparate, so now some of them they wear the back, some the part and participle underneath and top and thing like that. You don't have to get a whole big thing now. You could get pieces, and different colors and different textures,
Yes.
So you got clear.
Put a purple one next time.
Well, if you say so.
Anyway, listen.
No problem, Mike. I am grateful. I'm coming again.
Reid, with a Creole, but we no normal. With a coffee, and we royal coffee. My style sticky like taffy. You coulda holla say me ugly, but a loon pretty girl stay to chase me. Royal coffee, and my style sticky like taffy. How could you call me ugly when a loon pretty girl stay to chase me? Minor, tell you things you make you catch feelings. Your mere existence you want left to examine. Ebenezer me gone, me know for the squeeze dumpling. Believe woman sweet like stew pumpkin. See me, but you don't know me. Confident, say that me bossy. Inquisitive, you call me nosy. Defend me rights, holler at me chancy. Me know this show no mercy. We don't take no back chat from nobody. You know have feel like me, but you must respect me. Tell me smooth. I am a royal coffee. My style sticky like taffy. You coulda holla say me ugly, but a lone pretty girl stay to chase me. Me cool and deadly, machine gun Kelly, Machiavelli, stay ready like Freddy. We have woman plenty, woman the city, woman the country. You coulda act like you don't want believe me. Ask the white, that me Bali. I am a royal coffee, my style sticky like taffy. You coulda holla say me ugly, but a lone pretty girl stay to chase me. Royal coffee, and my style sticky like taffy. How could you call me ugly when a lone pretty girl stay to chase me? Lot of sexy woman come out of the valley. Me like the way the body move when them the party. And a piece white and Alta Leslie. And the one name Gilda Courtney. Dano Jam, Sadamus Jelly from me Lille. Me know where to do with me till it. Me grow up as a bedroom bully. Bucket with vein full up them belly. I am a royal coffee. My style sticky like taffy. You coulda holla say me ugly, but a lone pretty girl stay to chase me. Royal coffee, and my style sticky like taffy. How could you call me ugly when a lone pretty girl stay to chase me? I am a royal coffee, my style sticky like taffy. You coulda holla say me ugly, but a lone pretty girl stay to chase me. Royal coffee, and my